If you're in perimenopause or menopause and you're waking up every morning feeling like you ran a marathon the day before, and if your knees ache when you hit the stairs or your shoulders and back feel really stiff, this is a very normal, common symptom of perimenopause. So today we're going to unpack exactly why your changing hormones are making your body ache, how that is directly linked to a slowdown of your metabolism, and the exact steps you can take to protect your frame and get you moving with far less pain. So there is actually a medical term that doctors are finally starting to use more often, and it is called Musculoskeletal Syndrome of Menopause. Estrogen is actually a very powerful anti-inflammatory, and it acts like a natural lubricant for your entire body. Your joints, your ligaments, and your cartilage are packed with estrogen receptors. So when your estrogen levels begin to fluctuate and drop during menopause, that lubrication decreases. The cartilage can dry up a bit, and that causes that deep nagging joint pain and stiffness. But the chain reaction doesn't stop at your joints. As estrogen drops, your body's ability to build and maintain muscle drops right along with it. In fact, if you aren't actively supporting your body through it, you can actually lose up to 5% of your total muscle mass per decade during this transition. This also makes it harder for you to lose weight because less muscle means your metabolic rate slows down, which means that you burn fewer calories when you are sitting on the couch, when you are sleeping, or when you are doing absolutely nothing. And because your muscles and your bones act as a team, when your muscle mass declines, your bones lose the physical support they rely on to stay strong. Your body senses this drop in demand and begins breaking down the bone tissue. Ultimately, 1 in 2 women over the age of 50 will break a bone due to osteoporosis. Now, I know it sounds grim, but your aching joints are simply an early sign that your skeletal and your metabolic health need a little extra support right now. So now, what is the exact plan to reduce the pain, protect your bones, and support your metabolism? It comes down to 4 specific steps. Step 1, please avoid blindly popping isolated high-dose calcium pills. Now, a quick caveat here, if your doctor has specifically prescribed a calcium supplement for diagnosed conditions, follow their medical advice. But for general supplementation, high-dose isolated calcium can end up depositing in your heart valves as plaque or settling in your kidneys as stones. Instead, you need the ultimate duo, vitamin D3 plus vitamin K2. Think of vitamin D3 as the delivery truck that pulls calcium out of your food and into your bloodstream. And then vitamin K2 guides that calcium out of your blood directly into your bones and keeps it out of your cardiovascular system. Step 2, eat your calcium. So because calcium from food is highly bioavailable and carries none of those risks from isolated supplements, the best way to hit your goals is through whole foods. I literally add sesame seeds to pretty much every single dish I make. I throw them on salads, stir fries, an avocado, toast, anything. It takes 2 seconds and it's a massive calcium boost. There's tahini, dark leafy greens like kale and bok choy, sheep's yogurt or goat's cheese. They're packed with calcium. Step 3 is you need magnesium and a tiny trace mineral that almost no one talks about called boron. Boron is a total hidden gem for perimenopause. It actually extends the active lifespan of both the estrogen and the vitamin D that are already circulating in your system, helping them work better and longer. Now, you can get boron naturally just by eating a handful of prunes, apples, or almonds every day. And don't forget collagen. We think of bones as hard like chalk, but healthy bone is actually a flexible protein. Collagen gives your bones a bounce so that if you do trip or fall, they absorb the impact instead of shattering. Step 4, move through the stiffness. I know exactly what you're thinking. My knees hurt. My shoulders ache. The last thing I want to do is lift weights. But resting too much can actually make the stiffness worse. You don't need to become a competitive bodybuilder, but engaging in progressive resistance training is vital. Using your own body weight, resistance bands, or dumbbells puts a safe mechanical stress on your frame. Your body responds by building dense bone, strengthening the muscle, and firing your metabolism. It also pumps fluid back into your joint capsules, naturally lubricating the exact joints that are hurting you. Now, if you're also struggling with other brutal symptoms like hot flashes, night sweats, or terrible sleep, you've probably heard of natural remedies like black cohosh, red clover, wild yam, but does the clinical science actually back up the hype? So click on this video right here where I dive deep into natural menopause remedies that work, and I'll show you what is actually worth your money. See you there.